with us Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw. He, of course, handles multiple portfolios: railways, electronics and IT, and information and broadcasting. Mr. Vaishnaw, many thanks for speaking to PTI. Let me start off with the 12 years of Modi government. The government has, of course, completed this big milestone. How have these 12 years transformed the country on technology landscape, especially electronics, which continues to have a high impact and high role in geopolitics, and what remains the toughest challenge ahead for coming years?
The last 12 years have been years of change, years of developing trust, and years of establishing India as a country which can manufacture electronics, which can design chips, which can export electronics, which can produce really precision equipment and precision components. This is something which is unprecedented in our country's recent history. If you look at it in numbers terms, electronics manufacturing has grown 6 times in the last decade, and electronics exports has grown 8 times in the last decade. From practically a negligible size of electronics manufacturing industry, today we have a significant electronics industry in our country. We have seen the exports grow significantly. Last year, the year 2025, the calendar year 2025, electronics emerged as the third largest export category in the goods part of the exports. And mobile phones emerged as the single largest exported product out of India. Conventionally, it used to be diesel, followed by gems and jewelry, followed by garments and engineered goods, and then many other items. And slowly, one by one, step by step, electronics came up, and last year it became a significant export category.
So you don't rest easy on laurels. So looking forward, as India aims to become a developed nation by 2047, what are those important milestones that must be achieved by us in the next decade? We are, of course, investing unprecedented resources in digital infrastructure, railways, electronics manufacturing, all your portfolios. What metrics can we use to judge when and whether these investments are truly succeeding, say by the end of the decade? What measures will we be able to identify them with?
Multiple measures, and we have to look at this thing from a perspective which is not a very short-term perspective, but a long-term perspective. Our Prime Minister always tells us that we have to look at electronics and semiconductor industry from a 20-year perspective. With that as the timeline, that as the planning horizon, we started with setting the foundation blocks first. After the foundation blocks, we have gone a level deeper in the electronics value chain. And now we are going to the next level where we are starting the manufacturing of components. One of the good things which happened is last year we exported about 35,000 crore worth components to China. So that's a significant change which has happened. And some very complex electronics products like railway propulsion. If you look at a railway, a train or an engine, the most complex item is the propulsion, which is the electronics part of railway, which basically collects the current from the overhead wires, converts it into AC pulses, then converts that into current which drives the motor. That is the propulsion system. That is the most complex one. Last year we exported propulsion to France, to Germany, to Italy, and to US. So this means that the country is today accepted as a trusted value chain partner, a country which can manufacture high quality, it can design reliable products, and the security perspective also is fulfilled from products coming out of India.
So we have seen huge success in the mobile manufacturing space. There have been several historic breakthroughs in the semiconductor segment. To continue this momentum, what is the government doing? And there's talk about PLI 2.0, ISM 2.0. What are the key asks of the industry in these schemes, and what are the expectations of the government from the industry?
So when we started the Semiconductor Mission, the ISM 1.0, our purpose and the effort was to get the building blocks in the country, because this is something that our country dreamt of, having a semiconductor industry way back in 1962, and efforts were made by successive prime ministers, Prime Minister Nehru, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, Dr. Manmohan Singh. And finally, we got success during Prime Minister Modi ji's tenure because of his focused execution of this program. In the second part of the Semiconductor Mission, we will be focusing, number one, topmost priority will be design. In the ISM 1.0, we could get about 48 startups to work on deep tech products. In ISM 2.0, that will be the topmost priority. Design will be the topmost priority. Second biggest priority will be machines which are used in manufacturing of semiconductors. We will seriously be looking at getting the equipment manufacturers to come to India for designing the equipment as well as manufacturing the equipment. Then comes chemicals and gases. Very complex, very high purity chemicals and gases. We would be looking at manufacturing them in India. And of course, we'll be adding many more fabs and ATMP units. We will be carrying forward the progress we made in talent development in the first version of Semiconductor Mission. For example, if you look at this, in the Semicon 1.0, we gave the design tools, most modern design tools, Cadence and Synopsys, to the students in 324 or 321 colleges and universities, 320 plus. And these are NIT, Jalandhar, Roorkee, Ropar, right, Puducherry, Dhanbad, Rourkela, Shivpur in Assam. So throughout the country, Surat, Calicut, throughout the country, students are now designing chips. They have access to the most modern equipment, most modern semiconductor design tools, and the student designed chips are manufactured in the laboratory at Mohali. And the students are able to see the result of the design in the form of a physical chip. This capability does not exist in a large number of colleges in the world. Only a handful of colleges can claim this kind of capability. So that's why our students are having a huge advantage today. And we have been able to train about 75,000 students in the short time frame of 4 years. The target was 80,000 in 10 years. We will be achieving this 80,000 in 5 years itself. So that same talent development momentum, the emphasis, we will continue in the next version of Semicon Mission 2.0. And in electronics manufacturing, as you are aware, we are going very methodically down to the component level. Active components as a part of the Semiconductor Mission and passive components as a part of the ECMS program. So it's a journey which will require huge amount of effort for next 10-15 years.
So what are the key asks of the industry, like in PLI scheme and ISM?
Industry is part of our entire planning process, whether it is semiconductor, whether it is ECMS, whether it is PLI. Each of these programs has been designed basically with the industry inputs.
Sir, since the time we have seen volume of electronics production picking up in India, we have also come across several geopolitical issues, supply chain issues, and the recent being the memory shortages, which are driving the prices of electronic products very high. Can we see government intervention in this domain to check the prices or control the prices for the end consumers and help industry flourish and continue their momentum?
Definitely, a lot more investment is coming in the memory manufacturing units, and that is because for the first time in the way the semiconductor industry has grown at such a rapid pace, for the first time we are seeing a huge shortage of certain components which are required in the AI data centers, the high bandwidth memory chips, and that's why this global phenomenon of supply demand imbalance is there, which is now getting filled up by setting many more units. For example, these are the high bandwidth memory chips which are manufactured by Micron in a plant the first plant which started the commercial production on 28th February this year. This is Keynes, the second plant which started commercial manufacturing on 31st March. So these are the steps which have started giving results. But yes, there is a serious supply-demand mismatch in case of memory.
We have seen Micron setting up a plant here, and you are talking about much more investment in the memory space. Will we see investment in the form of scaling up of production, or will we see new players coming into the market for setting up their facilities here?
Looks like both might happen.
So we have also seen huge investment in the data center space. Several global companies have come in, but there are also talks about the environmental impact of data center, and people are saying that because of relaxed norms around environment in India, global players are looking to set up their footprint here. What have you got?
The factors which are attracting the global data center, the hyperscalers to come to India are basically three factors. One is the availability of talent in large numbers. Second, our grid is practically new grid. Recently I asked somebody, how many kilometers of transmission lines do you think we have constructed in the last decade? More than 2 lakh kilometers of transmission lines have been constructed in the last decade. Unbelievable upgradation of transmission has happened. So it's a very robust grid. Third is the large availability of renewable energy in our country. Practically 50% of our power generation capacity is from renewable sources. So these are the three big factors which are attracting the hyperscalers to come to India, because many countries, including some of the rich countries, they have grids which are 30, 40, 50 years vintage, which are causing imbalances when the power requirement at a data center grows significantly high. So that is very different from the robustness of our grid, which has happened in the last decade.
So will we see stringent norms around environmental?
Of course, we are following very stringent norms, and many innovations are also coming up. Innovations in how much power is required, innovations in terms of how much water is required, innovation in terms of better cooling methods by using certain water cooling methods which reduces water requirement by like 70%. So those kind of innovations are happening continuously.
At one side, we are seeing the advantage of AI, we are seeing huge investments coming to India, but on the other side, we are also seeing a lot of layoffs happening in India due to AI. Like company like Oracle has given slips to several thousands of employees. Do we have any plan in place to channelize those talents so that they don't get swayed away, or there is any recommendation?
We are constantly in touch with the IT industry. NASSCOM is taking the lead in that. For the last 3 years, we are continuously upgrading and revising the course curriculum. IT industry is working with the universities for dedicated courses which are important for today's world, today's technologies. Whenever such a huge change in technology happens, it becomes very important for the industry to work with academia and make sure that both are aligned towards the requirements of the new world.
So also we have seen access to Anthropic's Mythos for the governments. So can you elaborate on its impact that we can see on the industry? And
as soon as the Mythos thing came out, first thing we did was to sensitize our entire banking and financial sector. Honorable Finance Minister and I took a meeting of all the banks and financial sector players, and they have been consistently working since then in terms of finding out vulnerabilities, using the available resources, the available models which are there, and testing the IT systems as well as their consumer facing systems and their core business solutions on the available models so that they can identify the vulnerabilities and patch them. And we will be getting access to Mythos very soon. Already Anthropic has reached out to us and we are discussing. They of course require permission from the US government, which is where our external affairs ministry under the guidance of the Prime Minister's office, they are working consistently to get the access to MITREs.
Many countries are also debating safety around AI. So will we see India coming out with dedicated AI law or continue to address it through IT Act amendments?
It's a very complex topic. Certain things have been done under the IT Act framework, but I do think that there is a requirement for a new law because the world of AI is very different from the world when IT Act was enacted in 2000. We are discussing with the industry to come out with, as always, our balance, our objective and our approach will be to balance innovation and regulation in a manner that innovation keeps happening and while our citizens remain safe.
We are already seeing ill effect of AI in social media space, and several countries have demanded support of India to address those concerns in the social media space. Where are we in terms of those demands from the countries? How are we coordinating? What are the plans ahead?
As a part of the AI summit, this was one of the focus areas where ministers and heads of government, heads of states from multiple countries, they were debating and they were kind of discussing and sharing experiences across the world. And yes, it's becoming a big point of concern because absolutely real looking videos can be generated using AI and people can be misled into believing false propaganda or false things. So it's very important that we come out with technological as well as legal solutions for it.
There have been also several reports around increase in censorship in social media space, and of late there have been issues like people are claiming that government removed their videos that were supporting victim of paper leaks.
Absolutely not. Wherever deep fake videos are there, it's a duty, it's a responsibility for us, for the government, to make sure that if any deep fake video is propagating a false, factually false news, then it has to be removed. And end of the day, the society is built on trust between institutions. And that trust has to be strengthened. And to strengthen the trust, the belief in what you see, whether that is true or false, whether that is genuine or deep fake, that belief has to be strengthened through various techno-legal methods. And that is what we are doing. In terms of per capita creation of content, if you look at it, it is not even a fraction of the content which is created, which is basically deep fake and harmful for the society, which is being removed.
You have been steering Indian Railways, which is a massive sector. In your words, or what do you count as the biggest achievement of Indian Railways when it comes to consumer facilities and safety?
In the last 12 years, Indian Railways has made significant strides in safety. The accidents which used to be about 170 in the UPA era, now they have come down to low double digits, which is last year was the safest year in the history of Indian Railways. Only 16 accidents. We could close the year at 16 accidents, and continuously we are making efforts to further reduce it. We are taking steps for track maintenance. We have upgraded about 70,000 kilometers of tracks. Old rails have been replaced with good, high quality, better strength new rails. Many technological changes have been brought in the maintenance practices of wagons and coaches. The electrical systems have been totally upgraded in the new coaches. In the older ones, as and when they come for midlife rehabilitation, which is the periodic overhaul period, that point of time we replace the entire old wiring. Many efforts are being taken in the way track maintenance practices are done. For example, we now have a schedule of advanced, like the schedule is prepared well in advance for the entire maintenance staff to bring the machine, men, material, everything on site during the short window that we get for maintenance. Then the number of trains which we are running is a significantly large number now. Last year we operated about 80,000 special trains, and this year again we are operating a similar number of special trains. That's why last year Chhath and Diwali, the big festival season, then Holi, and now currently the summer season. Yes, there is rush, but we are significantly able to provide a service level which is much better compared to the past. Then we have a whole new generation of trains, whether it is Vande Bharat trains or Amrit Bharat trains. Then comes the new infrastructure like the Chenab Bridge, like the Pamban Bridge, like the 36,000 kilometers of new tracks that we have installed in the last decade. Then the bullet train project, which is progressing very well. Next year it will be inaugurated. So all these things are huge changes. Then we are constructing stations totally new. 1,300 stations, 250 stations are completed already in such a short time frame. So these are bringing a big change in people's lives. It's such a large system, and 50-60 years it was neglected. So there is a lot of work to be done going forward, and we are meticulously working. For us, each and every aspect of railway safety is very important. That's why we are working meticulously on every aspect. I personally hold meetings continuously on maintenance, and team is fully sensitized. For example, 1,27,522 points and crossings in the entire railway network are monitored regularly for their maintenance and upgradation. So that level of detailing is being done.
In 12 years, what are the biggest challenges that you have identified in railway, and especially for passengers in sleeper class and general classes, and that you would like to address in this third term of Modi government?
So we have added about 17,000 special production of of sleeper and general class coaches, and that has brought a big change in the people's lives, especially the people in the low income categories. And we are continuously adding more general and sleeper coaches, and we have also introduced Amrit Bharat trains, which out of the 22 coaches, 12 coaches are sleeper and 12 coaches are general. And those trains are extremely popular because at a very low cost, people are able to travel long distances in good comfort. They have the same technology that Vande Bharat trains have, and a very affordable fare. So those steps have been taken, and yes, a lot more needs to be done in railways because it's a very vast system, it's a huge system, and hundreds and hundreds of legacy problems which we inherited, which we are sorting out one by one. The results are visible.
You have been talking about reduction in travel time through trains, which will challenge airlines. You have talked about reduction of travel time from Delhi to Lucknow 2 hours, Bangalore to Chennai 78 minutes.
73 minutes.
73 minutes, sorry.
Yeah.
So in next
48 minutes Mumbai to Pune. So these will be the high-speed trains, which will start, let's say, next year, August 2027 onwards. The bullet trains will bring a totally new way of travel in our country. These will be basically very affordable middle-class travel, which will really be fast. So Mumbai to Ahmedabad will be 1 hour 57 minutes. Mumbai to Pune will be 48 minutes. Delhi to Lucknow will be less than 2 hours. Delhi to Varanasi will be 3 hours and a few more minutes. And Delhi to Siliguri will be within 6 hours. Chennai to Bangalore will become 73 minutes journey. Bangalore to Hyderabad will become about 2 hours and 10 minutes. Pune to Hyderabad will become 2 hours and 8 minutes. Chennai to Bangalore will again be in that range. So, Chennai to Hyderabad will again be in that range. So it's going to fundamentally change the way people travel in a country.
What is the time horizon for this change in travel times? Have you identified initial corridors?
The entire program for the 7 corridors which have been announced in the budget is a 10-year program. It's very, very complex construction work. We have learnt a lot during the construction of the first corridor, and we are going to implement all these learnings in the future corridors. We are standardizing everything. The bridge, which is the viaduct part, right? when you see the pillars, on top of it is the girder. That girder design we are standardizing to 32 meters full span length. All the pillars we are standardizing, except the foundation, which will be depending upon the terrain, depending upon the topography. Everything else will be standardized.
Thank you, sir, for being so candid and giving us full insight into the careers of the company.
Can I just ask two questions
Sure.
very quickly, sir? On FM, sir, the FM radio industry is facing a crisis with major broadcasters scaling back operations. What step is the government considering to ensure sustainability of FM radio sector in India?
It's a major technological change which is happening, and we are all aware of how the entire, whether it is news industry, whether it is entertainment, the entire shift towards digital has happened consistently over the last few years, and this is a very big challenge for the FM industry.
So related to that, private FM radio broadcasters have long sought permission to air independent news and current affairs content. Is the government considering allowing FM radio stations to broadcast news?
This is a demand from FM stations, FM service providers, which has come to us. We are deliberating on it. It has multiple consequences because we have had a history which needs to be seen today, and whatever we decide today has to be seen in the perspective that this industry has developed in, and very soon we'll be taking some decisions on it.
And just one more question on this. HT Media has announced the closure of FM radio operations across several major markets. These include Delhi, Mumbai, Bengaluru, and Chennai. How does the ministry view this development? Do you have a view on this?
As I said, it's a technological change which has happened, which is changing the entire. For example, we have seen landlines are no longer as relevant as they were earlier. Mobile phones are more relevant. For example, we are seeing that electric vehicles are more relevant compared to the petrol and diesel vehicles of the past. Every such technological change brings changes in the industry structure.
And you also talked about a new law, which is very interesting. Just before let you go, this new law will be a dedicated AI law.
I've given my opinion that yes, there is a need for a new law. That was the question. That do you need a new law? I said yes.
How would you take this
because
forward as
it will require a lot of work with the industry.
Okay. So one final thing related to this AI and the laws, the draft IT rules amendment, by when can we expect them? There were provisions, there were pushback on certain provisions on non-publisher users, those who give out news and content, they being brought under the ambit of IMB.
See, the question is very simple. Whether fake news should be allowed to stay on social media or should not be. Who generates the fake news was never a point of contention. If fake news is generated by a newspaper or by any other person, fake news is fake news, it must be treated equally.
And you had asked the industry very specifically last time to come out with a whole roadmap on quality when it comes to electronics.
Yes.
In multiple events. Have you got a satisfactory response?
Industry is sincerely working on it, and I have personally interacted with the industry on multiple occasions on this, and they have really come up to speed on this particular point. Serious efforts are being done, and it will be very important for the sustainable growth of the industry.
Anything on age gating for social media for the youth, the kids, something that you had mentioned earlier. Age gating for younger.
We have the DPDP provisions already.
Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to PTI. Many thanks, sir.
Thank you.